Hello, my name's David, and today we're going to talk about group classes. Now, sometimes you're going to have an appointment or a treatment or a class at which multiple guests attend. A classic example would be yoga, in which you have one instructor and many guests attending, maybe 20 or more. How would you book a class like that in Mandala? Well, actually, it's quite simple. What you would do is you would choose the time of the class. Let's say it was occurring at 1 p.m. and you would click the right mouse button to bring up the appointment menu. And then we would choose from the appointment menu the group class item. So we'll just left click on that, and that brings up the group class dialog. Now, the first thing that you want to attend to is the attendees list in the group class dialog. So we click the modify button to select the guests attending the class. So we can just select them by left clicking on them, and you can see they appear in the attendees list on the right here. Obviously, you might have to drill down to the particular letter, alphabetically select your guests. If you've got a lot of guests in your database, clicking clear to switch to a different letter. There's no H's in this test database. Okay, so you've got a list. If you make a mistake with anyone, you can just right click on them and that will remove them from the list. Okay. So that's now that you've compiled your list of guests. You select your treatment or class. In this case, it's going to be yoga. And then the person performing the class or conducting the class, in this case, Sarah. Often classes are outside, so you might want to create a room called outside. But in this case, we'll just choose, or what have we got? We've got spa deck. Well, no, there is one there. So let's choose that. Outside, and then select OK. So now you can see that Mandala has created a special kind of appointment called a group class appointment, and it's shaded in a different color. You can see that it's outside, it's the time, it's a group class of yoga. Now, if you wanted to change the list of attendees, just left click on it. You can right click on someone who's not attending, and that will remove them. To add someone, you're going to have to go back into the modify dialog and select the additions. Okay. Now, when you print the staff notes, because obviously it's very helpful for Sarah to know who should be attending, we go to the staff notes and we'll scroll down to Sarah, and you can see here that Sarah's treatment also has now a list of attendees, so she can check off who should be there at her class. Now, a couple of caveats regarding group classes. I have simplified the implementation of group classes somewhat, and that simplification shows itself in two main areas. One is that group classes will not show up in a guest history list. So, for example, if we look at Ralph Abrams' guest history, let's go to guests and we look at Ralph, we can see here, it's ordered by date, that there's no class registered in his history. So that's the first simplification that we need to live with. And the second one is the way group classes are sold. If we right click on the class and we go to sale, we can see that the guests in the class aren't listed individually. So the guests aren't put through the system individually. You have to gather the money or the payment from the guests as a group and put it through as one unit through the sales system. And that obviously will be reflected in your sales records as well. So those are the limitations of group classes, but I think you should be able to work with them. And that's, as far as I can think, that's pretty much all you need to know about group classes.